How did you get rich?
1 minute. 1 minute, guys. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, how did you get rich?
Sold a business. I worked at a business, was super successful, and then sold it.
How much did you sell your, real quick, sir? IDB billionaires all over the world. How much did you sell your company for?
Well, I sold it twice. The first time I sold it for over 100 million. And the second time I sold it, took on new partners, took on a big management systems, and we sold it again for over 400 million.
$400 million. Yeah. Could I interview you for a minute real quick?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
What type of company did you sell?
It was a food distribution business. I bought it for 300,000. Very small, few employees, but I built a great team around me. Smartest guys out there, hardest working, super loyal.
So you bought the company?
Yeah, small little business for 300,000.
So you turned 300,000 into $400 million.
Yeah.
So when you say food distribution, who were your customers? Who were you selling to?
Every restaurant you go to was my client. Everyone.
Actually.
Everyone. There's not a restaurant that we didn't serve.
How in the world did you get access to these types of clients paying you millions of dollars?
Having the right products, having the best buying team, the best procurement team available, and also having great sales side. We had a wonderful sales force out there on the street and hitting all the restaurants. Had a great product, competitive pricing, great service. Service was a big factor in our business. And then to make a long story short, it all worked out wonderfully.
You're part of the top 1%. I'm going to challenge you right now. Where do the richest people in the world put their money?
If you have real estate, you can never really go broke.
Actually,
it's a sleeper. I bought a piece of real estate for $5 million back in 2013. Very little cash. I'm going to say 15%, so maybe 800,000. And that building today is probably worth $25-30 million.
Are you serious?
Yeah, cost base on that is very low.
How much real estate do you own today?
Over 100.
$100 million?
Yeah.
Not 100,000.
Not 100,000.
$100 million,
Yeah.
man. But you can't pull the cash out of the real estate unless you sell it, though.
No, you can refinance it, and that's tax-free.
So break down, what do you mean by refinance?
You and I bought this building across the street for $2 million, and it appreciated over a period of the next 5-6 years to $8 million. And there was a $6 million equity piece in here. And assuming the $2 million was all debt, you would be able to leverage that building and take out the money tax-free.
You got a couple $1 million bucks.
Yeah, you take out a lot more than that.
Hey, and then go buy some more real estate.
Well, that's exactly the play. That's the real estate game.
You sold companies for hundreds of millions of dollars. You got to know a thing or two about negotiation. What's your best negotiation advice right here?
The most important thing about negotiation, the deal has to work for both of you. If it works for just yourself, it won't last. If it works for them only, you're wasting your own time.
So it's got to be win-win business.
It's got to be win-win, always win-win.
When people try to sell a company, like you did for hundreds of millions of dollars, what's the number one mistake they make?
They didn't structure it correctly. They didn't create enough of a platform where they've implemented the right process and procedures for them to obtain the highest valuation possible.
How important was the entity structure? When you started your companies, did you have an LLC? Like, did you structure your
company?
Yeah,
absolutely.
How important was that?
It's very important, but that's like getting dressed in the morning. That has to be done.
What company did you go to start your LLC and S-Corp?
You can basically do that online yourself. I had good accountants to do it for me, but you can do that yourself.
I had a billionaire tell me one time that the reason why people fail in business is because they don't set themselves up for success from the beginning. They don't have the foundation there.
Correct.
So there's a company that I've used for all of my companies to start my businesses,
all
my LLCs. It's called Busy, and it enables you to set your business up to turn the idea into a business in just 10 minutes.
Sure.
It doesn't take months. It doesn't take days like everybody thinks it does.
It takes hours. Yeah, it takes possibly 10 minutes. Yeah.
So that next company that you start, we're going to have you go through Busy.
Absolutely. Let's do it. I'll be setting up a new LLC shortly.
You bought a company for $300,000, turned it into $400 million. Do you think somebody should start or buy a business in today's world? Start. Why?
Because
you bought a business, man.
Yeah. I didn't buy income. I bought access to the industry. I bought access to key employees.
That's game right there.
Yeah.
That's game.
You buy businesses when you need access. You build businesses when you have the tools.
You got amazing advice, my friend.
All right, man.
Thank you so much for your time. Hey, I connect with all the billionaires I need. Could I get your contact?
Absolutely.
Is that cool? I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing great.
We're here for John.
You ready to interview a billionaire?
Yes. This is our 41st one. We were just talking about. So
you're beating records.
Yeah. Thank you for having us out.
It's a pretty big house.
He's going to be coming out here.
He's going to be coming out.
How you doing, sir?
How are you?
Good, man. It's great to meet you, John.
Good to meet you.
Thank you for having us out, man.
Welcome.
We were letting them know, man. You know that you were the 41st billionaire that I've interviewed on this channel.
I did, okay. Well,
Yes, sir.
I'm happy you're a young guy and doing what you're doing.
Thank
It's
you,
great work.
Can we check out the spot?
Absolutely.
So how long has this been home for?
I've been here about 6 years.
6 years.
I bought it and then I've done a lot of improvements to it.
For sure. First of all, growing up, did you have any idea? I mean, I've never seen a walkway like this in my entire life. Did you have any idea growing up that this is going to be possible?
No, you don't think about it, but this country's amazing. My dad was homeless. Came from Cuba with 5 kids, and I was the first one to ever go to college and much less higher education. So I went to law school.
So you didn't come from money?
No, I came from nothing. Literally started with a $800 credit card debt that my dad had given me with a Discover credit card. And that's how it started back then. Got out of law school, went straight to open up my own firm, and I didn't have money to pay rent, so I gave hours of work instead of the rent.
So back then, you did trade some time for money.
Well, absolutely.
Can we check out more of the spot?
Let's go do it.
Let's go check out the backyard, shall we?
Let's go do it.
Let's do it, my man. What would you say is the total valuation of this house?
This is right now the most expensive neighborhood in the United States. The home's out at about 175 million right now. I bought it for 46 million, and I've invested probably about another 20 into it. That alone is a big accomplishment, at least for me, because I was born in the United States, the only one of the 5 kids. Little by little, you start learning. Here's what I can tell people. It takes the same effort to make $1 than it does to make 100 million. It is. It's the same thing. because the rules are the same, the laws are the same. It's just a bigger platform. But sometimes it's easier because the people that you're dealing with are at that level already, and they understand.
And they move like that.
And they move quick, and they know what they want to do, right? So that's one of the things you learn with time, that you don't really have to reinvent the wheel. You just got to do what you do. Now, innovation is different, because to me that is sort of trying to create a new wheel.
Let's check out the back here, my man. Now, John, I got one last rule for all my interviews. There's no holding back. We're going to give the younger generation the blueprint on how to become not a millionaire, but a billionaire in today's world. Can we make that happen?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Do you think everybody's built for entrepreneurship?
No, it takes a lot of dedication, hard work, and a lot of sacrifice.
Did you sacrifice a lot?
I still do.
You still do?
I still do.
How old are you?
59.
Do you sleep a lot?
No, I sleep 3.5, 4 hours a night at most.
Dude, are you serious?
I'm serious. I already sleep 2 hours solid. 2 solid hours.
You can function, right?
And I can function right. Man, I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't do anything that's toxic to my body. I try to work out, train. I eat well. One of the most important things that people need to understand is you have to be available. If you're not an available person, the people call you and you don't respond, and it's not gonna work. I always respond to everybody. You text message me, I'm responding to you. The emails are a little different because there's so many of them. I get over 1,000 something emails a day. So I tell someone, you want to get to me? There's not one text message that I don't. By the time that I go to sleep or I wake up at 3, 4 in the morning, I'm responding to everybody's text message.
So being busy is not a flex?
No,
It's not.
it's not. It's just not.
So let me ask you this. Among yourself and all the billionaires that you know, what do they all have in common?
You got to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And don't listen to the noise. Every single time I've had a business that's been successful, everybody told me it wasn't going to work. Everybody.
Why didn't you listen to them?
Because I listen to myself. If you don't believe in yourself, then nobody else is going to believe in you.
There's a saying that money is the root of all evil. Do you think that money changes people or just amplifies who you already are?
I think a lot of times it changes people because it goes to their head.
Did you ever let it go to your head?
Never.
Why
Never.
not?
Because to me, money comes and goes. And I learned that I've had a lot, I've had a little, I've had to struggle. I still remember when I first got married, I didn't have $10 to go to McDonald's. Money's not that important to me. And by the way, you know why? Because I can go sell lemons in the corner and I'm going to make more money than anybody else. Because I have the drive and I know how to do it and I have the vision. I could lose everything tomorrow and probably in a year or two I'll be back.
What's the biggest misconception people have about really wealthy people?
I think if you really divide society into 3, you have the people that are doers, and I find myself as somebody like that. I'm not going to criticize Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk, John Morgan. Why am I going to criticize them? But there's people that focus on criticizing the people that do 90% for your community or society, that are helping the masses. They don't do anything. Those people that criticize, they just criticize to be evil, and they talk bad about the people, and most of the time they don't even know them. They don't even know who they are as a human being.
Why are you hating?
Why are you hating? Because it's envy, and that's the 2 worst letters in the alphabet are the N and the V, and you put them together, it's envy.
But you don't worry about them. You don't worry about their opinion.
No, I do. At first, when I was younger, I did, but now I realize, like, these people don't pay my bills, they don't do anything, and at the end of the day,
Nobody else starts ever pay by bills.
never pay your bills.
I'm going to challenge you right now. Take me back to the most life-changing conversation you ever had. What is the greatest piece of advice you received throughout your career?
My dad, there's no bad business with a good man, there's no good business with a bad man. You'll never fail.
Have you ever been over in business?
A million times.
Yeah.
But I harder.
There's no mercy for the competition.
No, I don't sleep, and I will. You'll pay.
How old are you now?
59.
Are you a good negotiator?
I won't say, but my partner says I'm the best negotiator he's ever met.
So give me your best sales and negotiation advice as a billionaire for the entrepreneurs out there.
You got to make the other person understand why what you have is valuable to them, not valuable to you. So when you make them understand that they need you and you don't need them, that's when you're going to make the best deal.
Let me ask you this. If me and you died tomorrow and you had one last message to leave with the younger generation, what would that be?
It's not about how great you are one day. My dad taught me this. You got to do it every day. One day somebody will wake up and I want to conquer the world, and then the next day they don't do it. I wake up every day with the same goal in mind, which is to execute.
You got amazing advice, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. He's doing
How old are you, by the way?
23 years old.
Hey.
Hey, I have one rule for all the interviews, though.
What's that?
There's no holding back.
Yeah.
We're going to give them the blueprint on what it really takes to make it in today's world.
Yeah.
Can we make that happen?
I never hold back.
Let's go. Who am I here with today?
Jordan Belfort.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
The Wolf himself, yeah.
What was the most amount of money you made in a single day?
In a single day, in cash, 23 million. In like 4 minutes.
What happened that day? Do you remember?
It's trading. I did an IPO. Yeah, I started a brokerage firm when I was very young and made a ton of money. And, the story's pretty public.
You're very renowned for your sales prowess.
Right.
You mastered the art of persuasion, but you are an excellent recruiter. What did you learn about recruiting that you give to an entrepreneur building a company in today's world?
One of the mistakes people make, they say, well, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm not a salesperson, but every entrepreneur needs to be a salesperson. Bottom line, right? It's not just selling a product, you're selling a vision for the future. You want to have great employees, you want to have great people that buy into your vision, right? Well, you have to communicate that vision to them in a way that connects them emotionally, moves them, makes them want to take action. Without that, very difficult. You're going to be then just recruiting strictly for money and try to overpay people. They're not really committed emotionally, they don't believe in what you're doing. When someone truly believes in accomplishing a mission, a vision, they will break through walls, work twice as hard. But if you can't communicate that to people in a way that moves them, well then guess what? The vision's a 10, and after you're done explaining it, they're like, well, that kind of sucks. So that's where persuasion comes in communication.
Do you think everybody's built for entrepreneurship?
Here's what I would say, right? I don't think there's built for or not built for. Really, it comes down to your desire. What do you want out of life? I don't think everyone has to be an entrepreneur. Like if you're happy and what makes you content is something completely different from that, and you're really not in money, you don't measure money and you don't value it in that way. That's okay. I think the problem is when you really do value money and you want great things and you want to live a life where you can have what you want, when you want, as much as you want, with whoever you want, all that sort of stuff, right? But you then don't connect it up with actually being an entrepreneur, and you think you're going to get there by working for a paycheck. Well, that's very difficult. So it's like not for everybody, but I think for anyone that really wants to live a life of abundance, it's very difficult to do that with a paycheck.
What is the best financial advice that you would give to the younger generation?
The biggest challenge of making money is finding yourself getting to that spot where you actually have a formula to make money. Then it comes in hard and fast. I think what people often mistake with getting rich, I say the only way to get rich is quickly. I don't mean through a get-rich-quick scheme. It's the hard work that you put in. Like there's certain elements you have to line up in a business. Often you start something, you think you got a great plan, looks great on paper, never works the first time. It's about pivoting and then trying things, and suddenly that last piece of the puzzle comes into place and you soar. And then it's about literally making as much as you want.
How do you turn a no into a yes? Let's say that you're trying to get that deal closed and it's a no. What's your best advice to somebody trying to get over that objection and turn a no into a yes?
So I don't really think the job of a salesperson is to turn no into yes. No is typically no in a lot of things in life. As a young guy, you be careful. No means no, right? But in sales, if someone says, no, I'm not interested, I'll have a great day. I'm not interested in trying to take someone who doesn't want what I have or need what I have. The job of a real salesperson is to let me think about it and turn it into a yes. Let me call you back. Let me speak to my wife. Let me talk to my business partner. What great salespeople do is they take those and turn them into a yes.
There's a saying that money is the root of all evil. Do you think that money changes people, or does it just amplify the person who they already are?
Anyone who said the money is the root of all evil never had any money. That's why they say it, right? But I think for sure, I always say money is like alcohol. It amplifies you. It doesn't change you. It's like you go into a bar, right? And, someone that's a really nice person and they get a little drunk, they're the life of the party, right? Someone who's an angry, bitter person inside, when they get drunk, they're a royal
for that person.
Right, that's it. And money's the same way.
I'm going to challenge you. Take me back to the most life-changing conversation you ever had. What's the best advice that Jordan Belfort received in his life?
Good one would be, when I first got sober, I had this phenomenal sponsor. And the first thing he said to me was, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
Do you have any regrets?
Listen, I don't live in regrets. Of course, people say, would you change? Of course, if I could change anyone I ever hurt in my life, I would unhurt them. But you can't live life like that. What you could do is you can live, learn, and be a better version of yourself every day, and I focus on that.
My last question for you. For my audience of 21 million followers, it's only right that I ask you this. Sell me this pen.
I never heard that before. This is a great one. So sell me this pen. What it really is, it's a test for salespeople, right? What typically salespeople will do that don't know how to sell is they'll just start selling you a pen. Oh my God, look at this pen, this black pen. This is the best pen out there. Never runs out of ink. This is an unbelievable pen. Right, it's a pen, right? The question though is, how can I sell you a pen if I first don't know what you want? So the first thing I would do, I would reverse it. So tell me how long you've been in the market for a pen. Are you even looking for a pen? I don't waste my time trying to sell things to people that don't need them or want them.
Hey.